Do we have him in the house? Paul. Okay, round of applause, please. Okay. Okay, feels like a proper studio setting. I like. All right, to join us also on stage, please let's welcome Roy Clinton. Oh, the commissioner. Okay, great. A round of applause for him, please. Make yourself comfortable. All right, so beautiful. Feels like teamwork already. So we're speaking on leveraging feedback. I'm sure we all have the brief. First, can we have microphone in the audience, please? John Best. Or anyone. Microphone in the audience. So I'd just like to hear from maybe two persons how well we can relate with getting feedback from people, from customers in this case, and how it has helped our business in any way. You have a hair salon, you run a restaurant, whatever it is, you've been able to gather feedback from customers, and it has helped you positively, I hope not negatively, but even if it's negative, have you been able to manage such crisis and get better from it? So microphones, please. Where are my microphones? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we take those 3. Okay, we have one, the lady, the guy, then the other lady behind. How you've handled feedback, how feedback have been of help to your business, just tell me about feedback, because that's what they will speak, but then I'm trying to get them to understand where we are as at now and take it on from there.
All right. I have an experience
your name,
on my
please,
product.
And what you do.
My name is Mrs. Darlington.
Thank you.
I'm into natural drink production. I produce anything that you use nuts and fruits to produce that does not have preservative, no sugar, and all that. So I had an outlet where I supply presently, and they were buying like 100 bottles every 2 days. I supply to them every 2 days. They will ask for another one. So later September, maybe August ending September, I noticed that they dropped to getting 30. They did the first time, they did the second time. I was making excuses for them from my own end, because I've been in the business for some years. I noticed that during rainy season, sales of drinks drop, whether carbonated or any drink, because of the cold weather. So I experienced that drop in sales. So I was making excuses, thinking that it was raining August, September. It was raining very well in Port Harcourt. Not knowing that they have a particular customer that used to come to buy almost that drink. In fact, anytime it lands, he will come. He will buy like 40, 30 out of those 100 bottles. So by the time only him buys twice, he has almost cleared the 100 bottles. So, but the customer stopped buying. So they had delay in selling off that 100. So when they managed to sell it, they now started getting only 30 pieces, So I walked up to the manager after 2 times supply. I said, this one people are now buying that. Now the rainy season. That was when the manager now opened up and said, no, that we had a particular customer that used to buy this your product, but that the last one he bought, he said that the taste has changed. I was like, taste. I said, okay, that I will get back to my colleagues that we're working together to find out, because we have a recipe. Our recipe has not changed. What we have been using to produce before is still the same thing. So I came back, we met, I told them, see the feedback I'm getting from this outlet. Their their patronage has dropped, and see the reason. The manager is telling me now that there's a particular customer who said that the taste has changed. Have you people changed anything? Maybe in the process while I'm not around. Did anything change? They said no. The recipe is pasted there. Even if you join us today, you will still produce the same thing that we are doing. So we tried and tried. So what I now did was,
try to give us a summary.
I went back to the manager and I said, please, see what you help me do. I don't know this customer, but any supply I make from now on, be giving him one bottle. Every time he comes, just give him, let him drink it, and tell us when we are back on the same test. I don't know if you understand, that he used to know that made him to patronize us. So the manager did it the first time. He said he would have not gotten it. Meanwhile, our recipe has not changed. So there was nothing I changed. It's not as if I went to reduce water or did any other thing. But I now noticed, as at yesterday when we are here, we supplied again. They gave him again. He now said that, that the taste has come back. I now have to talk with him. I said, what really happened? He said he had malaria.
Oh, okay.
He had malaria. So automatically, his taste board got bad. And I was worrying myself. I was like, what am I not doing well? What has happened? So as at yesterday, they now went back to, because the manager said until the man confirms that the product has returned back, she won't go back to taking much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, madam. We appreciate a gentleman there.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Kelvin Nari. I run Nana Sakara. We're a quick service restaurant.
Kelvin, calm down. All right, hi Kelvin, please go ahead.
Okay, so sometime early last year, we posted on our status anonymous feedbacks on our WhatsApp status, and we had lots of reviews from our customers. We posted the positive ones, and then the negative ones, we worked on it. They complained about packaging and delivery timing, and we worked on that, and we improved our packaging, employed more delivery people, and this year we are making better sales than we did last year because we worked on those feedbacks. So feedbacks are wonderful. Any way you could get them from your customers, amazing. Thank you.
Great. A round of applause for him, please. So I like the fact that you paid a bit of attention to negative feedback, because sometimes all we want to see is it looks so great, or your delivery is prompt. So that's the type KO Baba said we should screenshot. But the fact that, okay, you received negative feedback, you had very honest conversation with yourself and maybe your team, and made improvement. Afterwards, by yourself, you were able to come to a level that you delivered better service, right? Thank you so much. So the lady behind, please. Your name, what you do, then your contribution.
Okay. My name is, good evening all. My name is Irene George.
Hi, Irene.
So I sell fresh fruits. So my own feedback is I do salutation a lot, or will I say greetings. Like nobody passes in front of my shop or drives past me that I hardly will not greet. So one of my customers like that, she came and bought. I was like, I'm coming to buy because of the way you used to greet, So that's my own feedback in fresh fruits. Then in social media, I'm new in social media in TikTok, and TikTok is, I understand, it's for young people. I mean, I'm not young, and I started, but though I'm not young, I'm like making a lot of impact. So some of the negative comments I get I correct myself and I'm improving, and I can tell you for free, I have over 2,000 followers, and I thank God for that. Thank you.
Hallelujah. That's giving me testimony vibes. But thank you for sharing. We're grateful. So I don't know if the insight there is that we should greet all our customers every day. But however you choose to interpret that as it relates to your business, please, it's important to be very customer-centric. Meaning, I like a particular bank that will tell you they are a one-customer bank. I used to think it was bad English. Like, how do you tell me you are a one-customer bank? But over time, I got to understand that all they are saying is, even when I have 20 naira, I am their priority. When I walk in through their doors or whatever way, they focus on me. It may not be true in practice, but they give me that impression that they are here for me. And I believe it helps them. I don't know what their records say, but I believe that helps them. So thank you so much for sharing. Now we go to our panelist. Please, the microphone to him. Let them share an idea, because I believe now you understand where we are, sir. I hope you understand where we are, and you can take it from there. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Lucky Imepo. I'm the lead personnel for Rocket Guards Pro. We are an event and private security agency in Port Harcourt and environs. All right, on feedback, leveraging on feedback, which is our topic of discussion this evening. It is very direct and very simple. First of all, I've listened to the three of you that have given us your little insight on feedback. But first of all, let's start with what is feedback. What are feedbacks? I think Google told us feedbacks are information about reactions to a product or services, person's performance of a task, etc., which is used as a basic for improvement. What does this mean? It's very simple. When you render a service, I'll use my field, which is event security. If I was contracted to be here, you'll see my branded bouncer security. They'll be at the access, checking you, making sure you feel safe and the rest. So when we offer services, and after every event, I try to reach out to my client and I'll try to know what did you notice about our team. Sometimes I won't be there. Today we have a job in Owerri, a barrier. I'm not there, I'm here. So after the event, I'll reach out to the client. What happened? How was the event? How was my team? Hope they performed well. Please tell me how it is. I'll reach out to my supervisors on ground. How was it? How was the performance? What are the challenges? What did you face? And the rest. Now, why we do all this and why feedback is very important, so that you know areas you have shortcomings. You know areas you need to improve on. And whatever feedback, we'll see people screenshot and post their positive feedbacks all the time. Keo said why they don't do negative ones is because of how social media has become and affecting once one person posts a negative feedback, other people come and start, which is not good for the brand's image. So people post positive feedbacks. But I always tell people, don't fall for that. It's like falling for praises. At a level you get used to, you're good, you're doing well, your guys are good, you're doing this, you're doing well, and in a sense of relaxation might step in. And you want to be comfortable at that level. No. Some people will tell you they did well. Some people don't want to complain because of the relationship they have with you, or because of your brand reputation, or because of they like your branding. And the complaints might be slight. Sometimes I'll ask a client, how was it? They did well, but one or two little lapses. Can I know the lapses, please, sir? Don't worry about it. It's normal. It is not normal. I had that experience 2 months ago at an event at Arena. I asked the client, which is not a direct client, the event planner, Chief, how was the event? How was my team? Although I came in late, how was my team? How did they perform before I came and the rest? They are fine, but one or two. What are the lapses, sir? Don't worry, normal. I let him be. When I met him physically, Chief, what are those lapses you were trying to tell me? I understood you were busy. That's why you couldn't type much on WhatsApp. What were those lapses? Please tell me. It will help me serve you better next time. Now, why I had to do that is because he might notice these lapses that might get on his nerves. They might be little, like he said, but he might not want to complain much to me. but it might affect him calling me next time. So I have to make him understand that you need to let me know, because we work with humans. Even when we work with machines, we can have malfunctioning at some point. So please, at this point, before I hand over the mic to my colleague, before we go further, feedbacks are very important, but don't get so used to the positive ones so that you don't relax against improvement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So we didn't ask you to clap, meaning if you would clap, please clap properly. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
All right, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Royalson Clinton, also known as Roy Clinton, the commissioner. All right, so feedbacks. What are feedbacks? Just like me talking through the microphone and hearing myself. That is the simple definition of feedbacks. Feedback is more like, growing up, isn't an adage, a proverb that they say, forgive me, I'm a Port Harcourt boy, so I represent wherever I go. So I will speak pidgin sometimes. So there's a proverb that said, you know if you see your back if you dey dance. Someone needs to tell you if you are dancing well or not. Now that is what feedback does. So even in business, most times you have a good product, but you are not the consumer. Just like you finish cooking and testing your food, you need someone else to tell you if you cooked well or not. So feedbacks helps to tell how progressive your products are or how good your services are. As a photographer, I have my concepts, I have the ideas, the images, the creativity up here. But I need my clients to tell me if I'm doing well or not. And just like my partner said, you don't just rely on the good ones, the good reviews, the positive reviews. You also need the bad ones. If you're on social media, I forget social media, as long as you're in Nigeria and you're listening to the radio, you watch the TV, you're on social media, you might have heard of the tomato company that sued a particular lady that gave a bad review of their product. Was that a good move? Yes and no at the same time. It could be a good move to the company and a bad move to the audience or to the customers as well. So reviews helps us it guides you to the kind of product you produce and all of that. So let's say you have a product out there and you have people always talking good about the product. Trust me, sometimes you need those bad reviews. That's why even when you go to this online stores like the Google Play Store, if you check some of the products, even some of the apps, you see the good reviews, you see the bad reviews. And sometimes these companies, they intentionally leave the bad reviews. They can actually delete them off their platform, but they leave them. Now, it gives this human face to the brand or to the product, whereby you go there and you see people talk good, you see people talk bad about the same product. So now they give you what will I call it? They leave it up to you now to decide on if you should go ahead and patronize or hold back. And sometimes too, there's something, like they said, that not even negative, they say no publicity is bad. Negative ones sells as well. Most times, like a singer, Two-Face said, if nobody talks about you, you are nobody. Sometimes as Nigerians, I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing, but somehow I feel like people bank more on negativity. So when you say this thing is not good, people want to go and try it and see. They want to confirm how bad this thing is. If you say this thing is good, people will even avoid it. When you say this person is bad, that is when people want to go and check. And that is why at some point We've heard people complain that why is it that when someone dies, that's when the person is trained, and that's why everybody wants to. People want to know. So I'm not saying you should go and produce a bad product for people to give bad reviews. No. What we are saying is those bad reviews sometimes sells. They give exposure to your brand. Now it's left for you now to go back and repackage your brand. So imagine a situation whereby, like say this company, if they had reached that lady now that gave that review, probably got to know, just like our sister explained, she had to look for that one customer that gave a review, a negative review about a product. Now, they satisfy that customer. Now, imagine if that company had looked for that lady, find out her faults, her complaint, satisfy her, and probably because when she gave that review, she went viral. The name of the company went viral. Now, imagine if they had looked for that lady, got her complaint, satisfy her, and probably make her an ambassador to sell that product for them. So these are some of the things, the highlights of feedbacks. Feedbacks help us to guide our progress as we keep progressing. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Roy. I'll stay on you for a bit. Because when we say feedback, it's interesting, and I like that you acknowledge you're a Port Harcourt breed, meaning I'm allowed to use a term. Yeah. It's called bad belly, right? So how do you differentiate between feedback, like valuable feedback, and, well, the proper English is bias or opinion, but in our local parlance, bad belly? You know, there are people who just want to rub you off. True. Whatever credibility your brand has. So they just come out. Actually, I mean, IG, for instance, it's a free space. I'll just tell you, this guy does this, even when it's not true, right? So how do you differentiate between valuable feedback and personal opinions or biases? Thank you.
That is a tough one. Well, we are all emotional people. And the truth of the matter is, aside customers, we also have competitors. People that are our competitors could disguise as customers and give bad reviews to rubbish you. So how do you go about that? Now, it's just like me sitting down here and I'm telling you my name is Royalson Clinton. And you are telling me my name is not Royalson Clinton. I know my name. So I should be able to define my name. Right? Now, I told you again that I'm a photographer. And you said, no, he's not a photographer. He's a musician. He's this and that. It's left for me now to define and prove myself that I'm a photographer. Right? Now, how do I do that? My work should speak for me. Now, unfortunately, the social media space is full of so much bias that we have so much negativity out there. There was an incident that happened where a particular lady posted the picture of how her husband, her younger sister snatched her husband from her. Now, people started trolling the lady without getting to confirm if the story was true or not. Right? So, and issues like that, we also have people who always come, they give bad reviews, and people will fly with that. Now, as a company, professionally, what you do is to host, probably if you have the capacity of the resources, hold like a press briefing. There's stuff we call press briefing. You should also give your own reviews.
That's at bigger level, sir. Let's talk SMEs here.
Okay, so as SMEs, what you do is probably get, I'm not a politician though, but there's one thing I understand in politics whereby you see the guys that are talking like they're fighting you. Now imagine when you get them to work for you or work with you. So look out for these people that are giving these reviews. You might not reach them, you might not be able to reach them, but you can also form your own team get them to, if they can hire people to talk bad about you, you can also hire people to talk good of you. I don't know if you get.
Right.
So in simple terms, you also do your own review. Like if you go online now and you see all these online companies that sell products, most times they post a particular product and you go to the comment and you see people commenting, I just got mine, I just got mine, I just got mine. They never got anything. It's the same company doing all of that. So you can also hire people to also defend you. It's as simple as that.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I want to touch on a very sensitive subject. I hope I don't generate enemies from this. When you mentioned press reviews, I get it. At the bigger level, maybe a multinational can do that. But SMEs, definitely there's a way those feedback came. Either it's through your WhatsApp, through your Instagram, and all of that. Post something to counter that. And this is not you faking it. This is not you just fighting dirty. You have product, you have good stuff, right? For every single negative feedback, you probably can do 10 positive ones. So, like you said, we're humans. You can't satisfy everybody, that's the truth. I boarded flight that was on time and I'm just angry because it was raining. How is it the problem of the airline that it rained, right? But they boarded us in the rain and I was complaining about poor service. But it's not their fault. But the fact that they were timely, the fact that they had good customer service, they can put that out. And somebody somewhere in the comment section will make every other person understand the rain was not their fault. Are we good? Same thing, delivery and all of those issues. Anyway, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. So, sir, I understand it's easy to go on Instagram and do all of that. They're mostly unsolicited feedback. But as a company, as an individual, sometimes we intentionally want to generate feedback from people. So how do we go? Do we talk to people? Do we create a platform? How's the best way for us to solicit feedback from people, from customers, from colleagues, whoever it is? Just help us with that, sir.
All right, first of all, I do mine directly. And I always advise everybody, we are all SMEs here, and I don't think we'll have the money for press release. Using his the tomato human issue story. After the company arrested the woman, took her to Abuja or something like that, the general manager, the marketing manager of that company was on Arise TV that same week, defending their product. They have the resources. We don't have the resources now. So what I do is, one, I chat my client up directly. How was it? Tell me how it goes. Let's correct it. Please be honest with me. Because I noticed some clients might just see a personnel I send and just like the person. And will start overlooking the person errors and lapses. And if I don't know, I will not take the same personnel to another person who can condone it. It will not be a dent on my brand. So when you tell me, and I know this person's strengths and weaknesses, I now know where not to send him or how to. Now, how to generate feedbacks. The last Bole Festival I had this year, you're my friend on Facebook. The Sunday, I worked on Sunday with another agency. I handled the stage and VIP security assessing. So before the event, we had issues with one of the media team lead. It was about drizzling. So the personnel I kept on that spot, I selected some stubborn ones that until I say ease off, they will not ease off for you, wherever you are. So the person was trying to go cover their screen. So they didn't explain where to him. Open the barricade, open the barricade. The guy did not say he will not. So before they called my attention, it almost erupted and the rest. I came, I had to shout at him, allow them. The guy got angry, the show will not go on until this particular bouncer leaves this position. I just shifted him, come this side, you go that side. Later I put him back, everything was off. Then after the event, I made a post on Facebook the next day. We all enjoyed the event. Please, can you give us any security hitches? Anything you noticed after the event or during the event? People were just not, people were, okay, one person now came up and say, one girl now came up and say, one of my personnel whipped out with a whip. Why? What did you do? They were pushing her from behind, and she had to gain balance with the barricade. She tried to push back, and which is, so, okay, oh, sorry about that. I had to go to her DM. Can you describe this personnel that did this for you? Because it is against our standard. Those things we use on ourselves is only for self-defense. You don't just whip anybody, and you don't do that to people. Can you describe this personnel for me? She described. I went to the guy. How far? What happened? He now gave his own part of the explanation. And she wasn't saying the truth. When she pushed it in, the guy told her, don't push this in again. So instead of her to say, they are pushing me from behind, she started yelling, and you know the normal, he warned her like 2 times. So the 3rd time he had to take action. So I told him, no matter what, he shouldn't have even. Now, I personally made a post on Facebook. Why I made that post, 2 things. I want to know if my team did well. 2, when I was leaving the event, some people slept at that Resto Park filling station because there was no car, no boat ride on the rest. So I wanted to know, there are some instances I couldn't see, so that I can give a report back to the organizers, so that in case of next year, these are some security measures we can take to curb 1 or 2 things. So then also, very important, when you want to get feedbacks, start with your team. There's what we call, in security, there's what we call debrief. A debrief is after every operation. Whenever we finish a job, I don't need to make it official. I'll tell them I want to have a debrief with you. No. We'll just start gisting. I'll bring up.
So why you do that? I know not everyone here, if I thought there's anybody who's into security, you can also expand it.
Now, what I mean debrief, it's not only for security. Debrief is like a meeting after every event, every operation, every job. You call your team together in a boardroom, in a sitting room. How was this? Did we meet up expectation? What were the challenges faced? What areas do we need to improve? Did you get words of mouth? Did you get words of whispers about our services? I do that. I'll just bring up talk. They'll be jesting, we'll be playing, we'll be laughing, but I'm getting informations. Right. But when you want to make it too serious with them, they want to hold back. You start see one of the personnel start reporting this one, unconsciously and jokingly, but they've passed the message to me. So when you do that from your team, you go down to your client. Then, like he mentioned anonymous on social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, and the rest. People, when you do that, I noticed something about that anonymous. That's when you know that people have something to say to you.
They just don't
but
want
because
to
of your personality, they respect you. Even when I made that post on Facebook, what was it? People were just being careful responding to me. I was like, is it because I get bad mouth or it? I don't know. I just wanted to know. So anonymous, people will not tell you their mind. Because you don't know who is saying it. When you see the one that is a lie, you just smile it off. But when you see that this one, there's a chance that it happened or it might happen, please take notes and correct it.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. There's something I noticed about, also in alignment with your insight. Most business owners are positioned to be defensive, right? Whenever you throw feedback, especially negative, they are prone to being defensive. So please tell us how better. I'm not saying let's not be defensive, but to still put the customer first while acknowledging your blame or shortcomings. So please, sir.
All right. I think before, I've been in business for professionally 3 years, managing a photo studio and dealing directly with physical clients. Before then, it was more of online and all of that. But before then, I visit the bank frequently, and some days when I'm bored, I take up my phone and I call customer service line of or this network provider, especially MTN. Now,
when you are bored?
Yeah, some days when I'm bored, I just call them to talk. I'll just complain, and each time I complain, they always tell me, "We're sorry. We're sorry, sir. Is there anything else we can do for you?" I was learning. Yes, I was learning from all of that. Some days I would just stay and I would call the same response. Then, if there was one bank I enjoyed was Diamond Bank. Then, before they merged with Access, they each time you go there, they're always smiling, they're always laughing, telling you, apologizing, sorry. Now, when I started my business, I have to borrow all of that to address my customers. So no matter where you come, you will hardly see me angry. Even when I'm angry, you will not know. I'm always smiling. And that has been my selling point so far. Sometimes they will even go back and report to my boss. And they'll be like, this is your guy. Every time, even when we are complaining, he's always smiling. Like sometimes even my smile angers them. They get angry and all of that. Now, what was I doing? The thing is, like he said, some people are prone to defend. When you tell them they want to defend, they want to just defend them and all of that. But the thing is, you have to, like they said, the customer is always right. The customer is always right. Because
I think that's arguable, but okay.
the customer has to be right. He's always right, rather. So, first thing first, you listen. Listen and apologize. Even if you will defend yourself in some cases. But the first thing first is listen and apologize. Because, like it or not, it's business.
Right.
We are here to make money, and they have the money to give you. You are taking their money, you are serving them. It's service, you are serving them. You are their servant. So you apologize, you listen before, even if you must defend yourself. And the best way to defend yourself, I had a customer that changed my narrative with the word sorry. So this man came, and there was a delay in my service, and he complained, and I said sorry, and he got angry that I was telling him sorry. And he said the best way to apologize is to do that thing right, to do the right thing. So the best way to apologize to any customer is to do the right thing. And I think that is the best defense so far. Correct whatever was the complaint. Make sure you solve that complaint. One customer, you might say, okay, after all, I've sold to 9 persons and this one person is complaining. That one person that is complaining can ruin your entire brand for you. So make sure, no matter how bad it is, no matter how little the complaint is, you attend to it.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'll allow you chip in something. We'll take 2 questions and we'll wrap it up for the day.
All right, concerning being defensive in business, let's not forget that we are all human beings. And we all have emotions. We have blood flowing down our veins. So we are all human beings. But in business, there's no emotions. So you have to keep emotions away from your business. That was, I think, first week of this month. I had an event, an LNG event. And you know the person. Well, after setting up my team, I went home to freshen up and come back. So when I came back, towards at the end of the event, I met him. Bro, he started lamenting about one of my personnel at the door. What happened? Hey, he will report to the general madam, and once it was for my business, what happened? And my personnel pushed him. And I took him to the point where it happened. Guy, after what happened, why did you push him? He started explaining. He didn't push him. You're coming in, and they're asking you, please, who are you? Which is a normal procedure. And you're just being rude because you know somebody and you're working for them. And this is a human being. He's doing a protocol job. And we are to enforce it. Part of our protocol service is to enforce. And when you make us feel less of ourselves, so why are we there? To the point that the internal security company that came in that position, my people told me I shouldn't have been apologized. I took him there and there. I said, sorry, no verse. Sorry. That same day, we at Kale's birthday at Eddie's. He was still complaining. I said, no verse. I even bought him a drink. No verse. Sorry. I was very happy my personnel did his job. Right. But at the same time, no verse, my man. No verse. So even if you're apologizing, also hear from your own. And make sure, if like the woman said, her recipe did not change. But this person had a change in her test board because of malaria. And imagine how it affected her business for some time. So, if the person did not recover, and now say, oh, it was my e-health, oh, that woman would have lost a good deal. That woman talked about greeting. So I'll just talk about empathy. We have to make sure whatever feedback you get, you take it very, very personal. Especially if it's negative. Take this feedback very personal. When I mean personal, don't get angry. Apologize. 2 weeks ago, KO called me for a job. A night to the event. It was a wedding. So he gave me the lady's number. I called. Information was just being scattered. Come here. This one should come here. This one don't come here. At the end of the day, if many people will assemble at the venue at Poise Event Center, they've already called another agency. And they got there before us. Even though that was one of my person was with her already. So now it was a double expenses. When I got there, I gave my people branding. They branded. She was angry. I had to beg her. Sorry. She has not paid me that day. She was supposed to even pay me immediately after the job. I let her be over the weekend. I used my money. I paid my people. On a Tuesday, I called her. Can I talk to you? I played with her. Finally, she paid. She was like, the client didn't want to pay. She now said, after playing with her, pacifying her, I called her, played with her, make sure she's calm, and I explained to her why it happened like that. She now told me, I'll give you 2 jobs in December, blah, blah, blah. So, no matter what happens, from your end or not from your end, don't be defensive when you get a feedback, especially when it is wrong, a negative one. Always make sure you pacify the client. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And in addition to that, I learned emotions do not pay bills. So if you choose to be emotional, positive or negative, excited or angry for no reason, you probably will find ways to pay your bills, right? Yes. But not from the customers. Yeah. So thank you so much. So 2 questions, if any, just 2, so that we can release our panelists. It's been a long day. Anyone in the audience? Anyone in the audience? Questions? Okay. Go. 1, 2. So you ask, then they'll take it at once so that we can leave earlier.
We know in the customers aspect, we have the bad, the good, and the ugly customers. And this funny part of marketing is that I found that in Nigeria, the bad or the ugly customers are kind of the ones that pays the bills. Now, my question is this. If whereby your services are good, but maybe because of plan B, they feel or they decide not to give you good feedback, knowing from what we earlier discussed that one person's disconnection can affect 10 persons. How can you go about this, more especially when you know that this person is more of, a public figure, or more of somebody that has good influence in the community or society?
Okay, thank you so much for what you've shared so far. What I want to know is this, as a business person, I understand that brands should have their values that they stand by. What I mean is, there's something that, there's a reason why you were hired, as a company. These are the things that we don't compromise on. These are the things that we stand for. So I want to know when a customer gives a feedback, at what point do you enforce, if somebody goes like your team, like you were talking about. Now, if you're saying that as a security firm, there's certain things we don't do with the client. There's a line we don't cross. And you notice that your staff does that. At what point do you enforce those values, those disciplines? Yeah.
Thank you. Before my panelists respond, please, I'd like to remind you that tomorrow's section kicks off at 11 a.m. so that you don't leave your house at 8, trying to get here for 9. It will be a stretch. So if you need to eat well, if you need to sort out your morning routines, please do so that we can be gathered here at 11 a.m. almost for like the whole day, probably till like 6. We'll have an hour break in between anyway. Secondly, tickets for the raffle for Bamboo Estate. They are offering a plot of land. I would say for free, because 1,000 shouldn't be a big deal to almost anybody in Nigeria now. That's less than $1. So if you're paying less than $1 of unofficial rate anyway to get a plot of land, I think that's a very good deal. So 11 a.m. tomorrow, we kick in and we get set for the day. There's secondly Bamboo raffle ticket for 1,000 naira. Thank you.
All right, can I stand? All right. Okay, so your question. I think one thing I love or I'm so passionate about is personal development. You see, Nigerians we are very funny people, funny and wonderful people. And a Nigerian customer sometimes they make it look as if they are doing you one big favor by patronizing you. But we are both doing ourselves favor. You need something from me, I need something from you. You need my service, I need your money. But the customers, sometimes they make it look as though, now then get your life, then they give you life. You see? But then, you are there to serve them. You won't collect their money, so you go pay. But then, one thing I believe is, it happens in my company, for instance. Now, most time people come, and that is why you as a company owner or as a business owner, if you have people working under you, you should treat them well. Just like in the Bible, when the queen visited Solomon, she heard about Solomon's wisdom. She heard about Solomon's doings and all of that. But when she visited Solomon, she didn't get to hear Solomon speak before she declared him a wise man. She saw the way his maids and his house was arranged and declared him was the wisest man. So your staff matters. The way you treat your staffs, the way you handle them. You don't segregate yourself and make yourself the important person, and then you devalue your staffs. Because when they come there, your staff represent you, represent your business. When they come there, they should give the same value they give to you, to your staff. The same way you can't come to my establishment and talk down on any of us in presence of our boss. The same way you honor her, she honors us the same way. So it's the same thing. So most times, the same way, just like there are some companies, there are some individuals, people can't even go online to rubbish because of the value they possess and the way they've branded themselves. So as a business person, personal development is important. The values you give to yourself, how you brand yourself matters. Just like he said. And that's why sometimes most companies, they give room for anonymous links for people to send their reviews. Because ordinarily, people will not be bold enough to tell them to their face that they are not doing it, they are not getting it right. So personal development matters. The way you brand yourself matters. We've heard just like the way you talk to a boat driver is different from the way you talk to the normal kabu driver. It's packaging. That is just the key word, packaging. The way you package yourself, the way you brand yourself. A shoe cobbler is different from a normal aboki shoemaker, right? So the way you brand yourself matters. We have journalists, we have online persons, and we also have the social voice branding and the way you package yourself. So it determines how people approach you as well. Thank you.
All right. All right, you asked a question on discipline and action to take when a client gives a feedback about an improper attitude from your personnel regarding to my kind of service. It's very simple and straightforward. That's why I ask for feedback. Any brand without discipline, especially when you're using people's services, without discipline, you know that one particular personnel can bring down all your effort in one day. My brand, for example, I started it myself. I know what I suffered. I know what I suffered. I know how much I'm owing. I know. So you don't, wherever you think you are, you're working for me. I called you for a job. Whatever you are, whatever poor manners you have at home, immediately you're my brand. I've given you my shirt, my vest, my cap, anything that carries Rocky. Keep your misbehavior on one side. Yes, sometimes you can't curtail them. Some people will have some that will call Spider-Man, which I don't want to go into details. But we now know that this person, this is his weakness. So we discipline you. Sometimes I'll just, for 2 weeks, you'll not hear from me. You'll be seeing my status, people are going to jobs. You will not ask, boss, if you misbehave, I don't want you tired. Then, the area of close protection, where we see a VIP and want to give you close protection service. We are very careful so that you don't go and misbehave. You can go to a big event and misbehave slightly. People will not notice. But when you're working with someone directly, and any slight thing you do will be noticed. So when a client gives us this feedback, we'll take it up from there. Yes, we can't just hear and punish you. This is what I heard. Sometimes I will screenshot what the client said and send to you. Or you defend yourself. You start seeing series of voice notes. This is how it happened, this is not happened. Then, based on how I know you and my experience for the job, I will take my action. Either you're being suspended or your money payment will be deducted. But I must make sure whatever action I'm taking, sometimes, how severe it is, my client will be aware. So I've given this sorry for this person's behavior. There was a time I told the client, don't pay the balance, don't worry, the person will not receive his money. The guy, later, like 2 weeks, the guy still sent the money. Because I have to make sure that, to make this client understand that we are sorry on behalf of these persons. Because whoever goes out there represents you. They believe you, this person should be trained and retrained to represent you better. So when these issues occur, you must make sure there is a hard hit on this person so that, in fact, let the client know that you've taken action. Then when that client calls again, that person should not near, no matter how repented the person has become. Should not near, you will not near that kind of client. I've done a job where I sent people, last December, they were supposed to stay for 2 weeks. And they stayed for just 8 days. The man still paid complete money. Still gave them good money. So when I had a meeting last month, they had to start reminding me, that man ain't saying go come back December again. Boss, how far? I said, no, well, and I didn't say, una do well. One started telling me about that one's lapses. And everything he was telling me was how this person behaves. Which I already said, I can't send in both of them again to this client. Whether with a feedback or not, because it is not good for security. You don't get comfortable with someone. Once you get comfortable, relax, you start misbehaving, which is not good for the person's safety. So I might even change both of them. It is my decision to make. But the point I'm trying to make is, whenever you get a feedback, positive one, don't over-applaud yourself. This person has heard us, so we did well. Okay, how do we do it better for this person next time to keep calling us? This person has complained. Hey, don't be tensed. It is normal. Find the best possible solution to solve it. So I'll round up by saying, have a feedback system that will always feed you back. Thank you.
Okay, so most of the instances they gave are based on security. So it might not apply to everybody, right? Like, for example, the instance where he said, no matter how you've repented, he won't send the person down to London. It might not work for other companies, like mine place. We might not want the customer to see that we've improved, we make improvement and all of that. Then back to you, our question is, no customer is small and no customer is big. Never make that mistake of saying, okay, because after all, now 100 naira in pay, now what's they complain for? That person that paid 100 naira can bring that customer that will pay 1 million naira. You don't joke with those small customers. They are your publicists. They are the people that will publicize your business. And there's a method my boss uses sometimes for reviews. We know her. The studio I worked with is owned by a lady. We know her. We don't know her family members. We don't know her friends. So most times to get feedbacks, she sent some of her close friends or her family members to come patronize the company in a certain way to see how the staff will relate with these persons. That is one way you can get feedback from your staff to see how they behave. And again, one thing you should not do is, in as much as you are looking out for clients, don't underrate your staff. Treat your staffs well. Don't belittle your staff in presence of your client to satisfy your clients, no matter what they do. I don't know if it works for everybody, it will work for everybody, but it works for me. No matter what, you don't belittle your staff in presence of your client. You can, whenever they do something, you can excuse them. You say, okay, well, don't worry, I will address the issue later. Later on, you address the issue and all of that. And like I said, I will conclude with, don't belittle any client, no matter how much they pay. Whether they pay for that service or not. That client that will come to ask you how much might not patronize you today, but they will go back and tell somebody about you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Roy. Thank you so much, Lucky. Please, a proper round of applause for them now as they make their ways back to the seat. And I invite my colleague, John Best, to take the floor.
I think the commissioner deserves a better round of applause. The commissioner. And then Papi. You know our Papi now, Rocky Guards Pro. Rocky Guards Pro, please, he deserves more than this that you've done. Now, the both of them, they deserve better than you have done. Clap for them. And of course, to the moderator, Mr. Mayowa Daniel, please put your hands together for him. Okay, for the three of them, put your hands together for them. And of course, for yourself, put your hands together for yourselves, actually. Did you learn something from that? Leveraging on feedback, right? So before somebody comments or makes a comment about your brand, personal or, company-wise and all of that, and then you begin to act somehow, or somebody says this and then you begin to act anyhow, just know that there is need for that feedback to come. If there is nothing as feedback, then there may be nothing as what? Development and improvement, actually. True or yes? True or yes? So feedback actually makes for what? Improvement, right? I met somebody who, there are these brands we talk about these brands, and some persons, because we talk about these brands, they go to patronize these brands. And then this woman, a respected woman at that, was reached out to me, or we met at an event where we were all, guests. And she was telling me, John Best, because you guys actually talk about this thing, I went to patronize them. This is what I found out about this. And I said, yes, ma, it's okay. I'll take your feedback to them. And then right then I chatted the brand owner, and we got talking, and he was like, yeah, thank you for giving me this feedback. It was actually negative and positive, right? I gave him the positive. I appreciated him for everything he's doing, and of course, they are doing so well. And then I also gave him the feedback of, not really my own. Do you get the point? I would have just swallowed it. I listened to it, and I would have just swallowed it, right? But if I swallow it, what would happen to the brand? Now, not just for the brand, but I don't want that woman to just have a bad opinion about the brand. I told them, okay, I gave her reasons why it happened that way and what they would do to better, their brand and all of that, so that she'll keep patronizing. So we need feedbacks as brand owners, as people, and as businesses. All right, so we can improve ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've benefited so much. We've benefited so much from day 3 of the Make in Nigeria conference. If you've benefited so much, if you've enjoyed, you've had valuable time from morning till this time, or from the time you came till this time, please. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands, please. Okay. Numbers don't lie. In the eyes of 2 or 3. What happens? What happens? All right, so we're even more than 3. When I did past 10, well done, raising our hands. So, Make in Nigeria has done so much, has done so well. And tomorrow we'll continue. And then tomorrow we've been told that we'll be starting, instead of starting 9 a.m. and then to close for morning session and then start again, the evening session, we'll be starting from around 11. What that means is you have to come here, say 10:30 you're seated, building your network, connecting, collecting people's numbers. All right, so 10, I've just been told. 10 a.m. you're here, all right? First, if we're saying 10, then you should be here at least 9:40, right? 9:40, so that you build your network, collect contact, establish a beautiful relationship here that would end up being business partners in time to come, and all of that, right? And please do well to invite people. Make posts. You've taken pictures. If you've not taken pictures, as you're leaving here now, I think the backdrop is still outside. Take pictures, beautiful pictures. Post them on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, everywhere and anywhere, on WhatsApp. Make beautiful content out of them and invite your fan base to be here so that they would also learn. So they no go come be burdened to you tomorrow. They no go come they ask you for urgent 2K when they're supposed to build their own brands. Do you get the point? Invite them to come learn how to make their urgent 2K and, of course, make millions and billions, out of their businesses, right? So we all grow together. I think that is what Make in Nigeria is encouraging. And, of course, you can always support the Make in Nigeria conference. It's like an NGO, right? Attending an event like this without being, without you paying. The master from the panel session, the keynote presentation, to the master classes, everything free. Everything free. It's free for you, but it's not free for the organizer. True or yes? This hall that is being used, was it given to them free of charge? It wasn't free, right? It wasn't given to them free. The sound, was it free? No. All the things you're seeing around, these banners, backdrops, are they free? No, they're not free. But for you, you're seated here, it's free. What can you do to support them? Your 1,000 naira will go a long way. Your 10,000 naira will go a long way. 50,000, 100,000, or whatever you have to support the account details right on the screen. Make in Nigeria is the account name, and of course, Guaranteed Trust Bank GTB, and then the account number is there. Please make that support as much as you can. Okay, and one of the greatest support you can always offer too is to pray for Make in Nigeria conference and the organizers, so that more monies will come, more ideas will come, and then, of course, when you're coming, you definitely know that you're not coming to sit and then at the end of the day just go back, the same way you come, right? Please, let's put our hands together for ourselves, and of course, for all the people behind the Make in Nigeria conference 2023, put your hands together for them. For the team behind the scene, the media people, Ficus TV, we celebrated. Please put your hands together for Ficus TV now. Put your hands together for them. Then 402 Sound. You love the sound you're hearing. Put your hands together for 402. To all the volunteers, put your hands together for them. And everybody, including yourself and including myself, put your hands together for us now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we call it a night. Adios. Feel free to take pictures outside there. Connect. I want to actually connect with people, but nobody wants to connect with me. No wahala. I go make them for life. I'll still make it.